Yo, my people, it's been a little while. Match reaction. We're back. We're back. 3 points in the bag. Gift and a curse. We're going to get into it all. You've probably heard my AFTV interview already. If you haven't, then it'll be the first time for you. If you have, then I'm about to double up on it because as much as we've won, as much as that second half performance was a lot better than the first, as much as Martinelli had probably his best game in a while, Thomas Partey had a great game in my opinion. Saka returned, hitting the ground running, not just a goal, but just in general, wanting the ball, receiving the ball, the confidence to take on a player, the 1-2s, passing, moving. I mean, it felt like he hasn't been gone at all, but we know he has been gone. It just felt like he hasn't been gone at all. The way he just seamlessly got back into the fold. And if I focus on all of that, then it's a positive. But that one gripe, the big gripe, the curse, Gabriel, hobbling off. Not just hobbling off, I mean, hobbling, calling for attention, trying to play on, calling for attention, hobbling, sitting on the floor, getting up, trying to play. Yeah, that minute or so, probably should have put the ball out. I know a lot of people are talking about that, but essentially the injury, the damage was already done. It doesn't look good, people. It doesn't look like it's an injury that he's just going to shake off and return in a week against Real Madrid at the Emirates first leg. I can't even see him make it for the second leg. Now, I'm no doctor. Before people say, oh, you're a doctor now. I'm no doctor. I've just seen that sort of reaction to an injury many times. And by reaction, I mean, it looks like he's pulled something. There wasn't contact. He was on his own, no one near him. Those are the worst injuries. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but maybe by the time this video is uploaded, because sometimes I can take a while, maybe we'll know more about it and the optimism or the pessimism about him featuring against Real Madrid. I'm sure Arteta will be asked about it in the press conference because it is big news. It's a big problem. It's the curse to the gift. Saka returning and the way he returned was so refreshing. Great to see him. Great to see him. I mean, in his absence, our hearts have grown fonder. For sure. For sure. Earlier in the season when Odegaard was out, Saka was doing his thing. It was all on him, but he was doing his thing. Since Saka's been out, I haven't seen anyone else in the attack really step up and do their thing. Aside from probably Mourinho, since Saka's been injured. If I look at Mourinho, 5 goals in about 10 games in the Premier League up front? I mean, that's a good return. And I say good because it's just that good. Quite similar to the current players that we call strikers at the club at this moment in time, both obviously on the injury table at this moment in time, but their numbers haven't been too dissimilar over the last year. So yeah, I mean, in Saka's absence, the only one to really step up and be counted has been Mourinho. So credit to him for that goal in the first half. On the goal, I mean, the reason I'm going to give him credit is because that's the only chance he had in that first half. It's the only chance, and it was a half chance at best. I mean, he controlled it well, got it from under his feet, and to be honest, not fully out from under his feet. He managed to get over it with his weaker foot, get it somewhat on target. It takes a deflection, it trickles in. I mean, a bit of fortune there, so what? There was fortune to their consolation goal at the end as well, so they count each other out. But on Mourinho, one chance, one goal in a first half that I was quite underwhelmed by. Still not seeing what I want to be seeing, and that's something a bit different. The first half didn't really fill me with much optimism. Looking at Real Madrid in a week's time, Partey, I think, started and ended the game very well in that first half, just breaking up play near to our corner flag in the centre circle, just outside their box. He was all over the gaff. Probably should have done better with a chance he had. Sat up for him nicely and he scuffed it. But listen, he ain't there for that. He's there to hold the fort and, play the ball forward and sweep up. And today I think that's exactly what he done. Alongside Martinelli in that first half, I think those two were the shining lights. Not only in the first half, but throughout the game. Martinelli taking on his man, beating him the first time, and then from there I won't say had him on toast, but he had him. He had the better of him for sure. Constantly causing problems. So yeah, I think them two shone, but the goal actually came from Timber. A neat little ball inside for Nwaneri to run onto. Nwaneri with a nice ball into Marino, and like I said, Marino done the rest. Credit to him, 5 goals. He's going to be the striker against Real Madrid. But with Saka's return and Martinelli's best performance probably of the season, I mean, my memory ain't the best at the best of times. So I'm struggling to think of a better Martinelli performance overall for 90 minutes. Because in the second half as well, listen, that goal, a lot of it was down to Martinelli. How many times do we win the ball back in the position that we won the ball back there? But how many times do we reset? Many times. Odegaard was doing it like nobody's business in that first half. And Odegaard, I expect better. But before I get on to you, I mean, Martinelli, he gets the ball from Rice, who had just won it, and drives. He can see was it a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-3? I forgot what it was, but he senses an opportunity, head down, dribble, shrugs off a man or two, lays it out to Marino. Marino slides, gets it in. Martinelli, listen, did he mean to get it to Saka? He meant to flick it on. Yeah, we've seen players do that many a time. He meant to flick it on. He gets the assist. He essentially starts the move after picking it up from Rice, and I think he deserved it as well to cap off what was, in my opinion, a good all-round performance. Not great, but good. Better, for sure. So if we get that sort of Martinelli and the Saka we know we can get, then yeah, Marino has to facilitate for those two. And any opportunities in the box, try and take it. But I'm looking a bit far ahead. Yeah, we've talked about Gabriel. I mean, the curse side. Kivio did come in, didn't do badly, but I mean, you can still sense that his weaknesses are Real's strengths in attack. Pacey, fluid, mobile attackers, and they have it in abundance. So I am nervy about that. Any counters, any fast breaks, I am nervy about that. I'm more than nervy about it, to be honest. I do think it's really damaged any. And listen, I'm not the most optimistic at the best of times. You might ask, did you have any hope before Gabriel got injured? I mean, the hope lied in our defensive stability and structure and quality, as well as our set piece threat. I know we are not as threatening as earlier in the season, and we're definitely not as threatening without Gabriel in the side. And that's part and parcel as to why I do think this is very damaging on both ends. Yeah, we got one game to go to try figure out another threat, because the whole set piece threat with Gabriel missing, it goes down a few notches on the Richter scale, if I can put it like that. So yeah, we've got to figure something out there. Ben White not on the bench. If he was there, I probably would have paired him with Saliba, and that would have been the back two for me. Timber, at one point I thought, oh my God, is he gone as well? But it was contact. It was knee to stud, I believe, and them ones can pain. Them ones it can give you a pain inside the knee that you need some time to shrug off, and I think he got the time, came back on. He looked okay, and I'm hoping that's the case, because we cannot afford anything else. Imagine that, just our luck. Saka comes back, Gabriel's out. All right, well, Everton away. That's all we got left. Odegaard, I need to see better. I'd probably flip it up a bit against Everton. Now we kind of know what it's going to be against Real Madrid. One player I probably won't flip up is Odegaard, because yeah, I'd be giving him 60 minutes at least against Everton, because he needs to be doing better. He needs to just be doing better, and a lot of it is mental as well, because I can forgive a player for giving the ball away, overrunning it. If you're trying something as an attacking midfielder, as a 10, that's part and parcel of the game. You're not going to pull off magic moments or crucial moments in the attacking third without taking the necessary risks, and that comes mentally as well as technically. But technically, I feel like he's got a lot more technical ability to have value in the final third than he's shown for a long time. I hope I'm making sense here, because he is a good player. He has got a good feint. He can dribble on the ball. He doesn't mind a bit of contact. He's quite lightweight, but he doesn't mind a bit of contact. You can see that more on the defensive side of things. So for me, he's an 8. But in the 10, Odegaard, yeah, I need to see a bit more. The safety thing, the reset thing, I'm not really feeling it. But again, it could be instruction, because his change, I'd call it, since the 22-23 season, his change in risk taking in the final third has kind of coincided with, don't forget, the start of last season. We was all looking at Saka without Ben White overlapping him and saying, listen, he's in a bit of trouble here. He's always cutting back in and passing it out instead of being in one-on-one situations like he and Martinelli were both in across 22-23. But yeah, I mean, look, Saka comes on and does what he can. Odegaard, let's try and do something against Everton, son. Let's try and get into that Real game with at least a 60-minute performance in the bag. Aside from that, people, I mean, am I missing anything? We conceded. We're probably lucky not to concede a couple across the 90 minutes, if I'm honest. Muniz had a glorious opportunity. I think it was at 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was at 2-0. 1 or 2-0. Anyway, I don't know how he missed it. Header, wide. It is what it is. I mean, the Premier League's done. This is essentially about securing second and, more importantly, preparing for the big one, Real Madrid. I see some good today. More good than I saw against Chelsea and United, if I'm honest. But just our luck, that good that I saw, that good that I see, is taking a knock with the Gabriel injury. That's for sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button. And yeah, do what you need to do, people. Share it, engage, all of that stuff. There's no sponsor today, but hopefully we'll have one against Everton this weekend. Goodison Park up next. One more game before the big one, Emirates. I'm still trying to get my ticket. I've got Madrid, but I want the Emirates one as well. I'm gonna try. If you know of anyone, if you know of anything, let me know in the comments. I'm out, people. Peace. Love for the love.